What's cracking, folks? Let's do it. Fucking all the stuff I bought. What is this? September, part 1. This is the 11th. 9/11 today. So let's get into it. Alright, now let's get into it. There's a fair few stacks here that I have purchased. I went to a new Salvos and Savers near me, and yeah, I bought a lot. I raided it like a motherfucker. So I'm just going to jump into a whole bunch of stuff here. I'll do these all at once. Same thing. Alright, first up we have Robot Chicken, Season 1 to 4. I used to have these, but then I got rid of them. I got rid of a lot of my Madman stuff, but I want to collect them again. I've seen the first season fucking everywhere. No, actually, I think I only had the first season. Anyway, I see the first season like everywhere. But for me, it's like, I don't know, it's just one of those things that like, if I see a whole bunch of seasons from a TV show, then I get it, instead of just finding like one random season here and there. So I'm finding the first 4 seasons at one. Savers was a good find. Good grab, I suppose. Yeah, man. They also had one of the Robot Chicken ones there. I don't know why I didn't get it, but I didn't. So, 4 seasons of Robot Chicken there. Great show. Love it. I'm collecting my Madman again. What's the big one? There you are. I'll do like TV shows and stuff. Get the big chunk stuff out of the way. This is from Savers again. I ended up spending like $70 there because it's mostly from the TV series. Like those Robot Chickens were $5 each, and the South Parks, I think they were $5 each as well. But, what do I get? Season 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12. So, what do I have? I think I got most of it now. Can't even see what I even have. I got 14, 11, what's that? 10, 11, where's my other ones? I don't want to, oh fucking don't know where they are. Anyway, I got a fair few of them somewhere. Where you go? That's confusing. Anyway, let's skip all that. Let's jump into these little, this is another TV show that I found. Oh, I'll do those 3 last. TV show, next one, Savers again. Fame TV show, first season. I just looked up, there's 6 seasons. I thought there weren't a lot of seasons of this, but apparently there is. I did love the film. It was a great film, so I'm interested to see how the TV show holds up. I'll just watch the first season, see how it goes, see if it like correlates to I mean, it says mild themes and drug references and all that, so see how that correlates to the film, how it was all, you know, people trying to get fame while also doing a lot of drugs and having lots of sex. What's next? These 2 I found at a Salvos. Happy with these grabs. Let's do this one first. It's annoying that Father Ted Complete Collection. It's kind of annoying that there's a rip there, but this only cost me fucking $2, $4. So you know, just because there's a little rip there, but whatever, I still get all of Father Ted, so that is a plus. That can sit right next to my Vicar of Dibley set, right up there. Father Ted and Vicar of Dibley. The Vicar of Dibley. It's better when you say the. Next up, this was like $7. It's like $1 a disc, but It is the Almost Definitive Clark and Dave collection. Great Aussie comedians. I've seen a few of their clips here and there, but I haven't like fully dwelled into their stuff. So this will be a good starter package for sure. Yeah, it cost me $7, $10, something like that. Anyway, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Next, I think this is one more TV show. Yeah, there's another one. 2 more. I'll do this one quick. American Horror Story Freak Show, great. I enjoy this series. I've only seen up to like season 10, so I have to start watching the rest of them. This is a great season. Love this season. 4th season. Good stuff. It's good stuff. I like those one season sort of stories. Just get over. You don't drag anything along or anything. It's just like one season, 12 episodes, done and dusted. Next up, we have a miniseries. Under the Dome from Stephen King. Big book. I don't remember. They were all Stephen King books. The fucking big books. It's all about characters, isn't it, with him? I do remember this coming out. I never saw it. I was always interested in it. But I'm happy to grab it. I pulled the sticker off there. I think it was like $4 for this. $4 or $3. But yeah, happy to grab this. Give it a little squiz. See what I think of it. It always reminds me of The Simpsons. I think The Simpsons came before this. But yeah, just like having the dome over a city. Which I thought was pretty funny. I like The Simpsons film, and I want to see how Steven puts it in with his horror-esque world. Oh, I'm just going to smashing through these. There's a fair few DVDs. But here, 2 games. I've started collecting PS2 games. Just some. Only ones that are worth picking up, to be honest. Because there's a lot of fucking iToy shit and there's a lot of buzz and all that crap. Just a lot of crap out there. But when I find a game that I'm just like, oh, that's actually like, it was fun. First up is The Getaway. I do remember this coming out. It was a really big thing. I never played it. But I always wanted to play it. I've always been interested in playing it. So I'm happy. CD isn't, it's got like fingerprints and shit on it. Like, they all do. Like, everyone fucking playing their fucking games with jam donuts and shit. Still got the booklet, which is cool. But yeah, happy to grab that. Hopefully it works. Like all these games, I do hope they work. Oh, that came off easily. Bye-bye. Next up, we have Stuntman. I never remember seeing this one around, to be honest. But it's from the creators of the Blockbuster series Driver, and that was a fun game. But so I've kind of interested in this to see how it goes. Feels like a Need for Speed Driver-esque kind of thing. Again, disc looks alright. A fair few like scratches and fingerprints, so hopefully it works. Booklet as well. I don't think this is just an Atari booklet. Get updates of random games and shit. Nice little Atari book. So I just hope these games work and they aren't fuzzled to shit. I was interested to see this rating. It's like G8+, medium level animated violence. So I'm like, I guess it just depends on what violence there is, but like a G8+, I don't ever like remember seeing that sort of rating on games before. It says confusing. Movies. The DVDs. Where do I go? Where do I start? Start from the top and work our way down, I suppose. Alright, first up, we have 60s classic, 1969, directed by Richard Attenborough. That is, oh, what a lovely war. I remember reading about this in that book, 101 War Films to See Before You Die. That's basically one of the reasons why I picked it up. Still slowly going through that book. But been wanting to see this for a while because of that book, to be honest. And Richard Attenborough, great director. And it's like a stage musical, yeah, based on the stage musical by the same name. So it's like, by fusing the surreal and the factual and juxtaposing savagely funny satire with quiet sorrow, Attenborough has created the oddest and most outstanding film ever made about the game that became World War One. So that'll be an interesting little watch there. Bit of comedy, maybe a few musical numbers thrown in to a war film. No less. Next up, saw this Savers. I picked it up. I enjoyed it. Operation Fortune. Res de Guerre. I think that's how you pronounce it. Saw this in the cinema with me missus because we're both Guy Ritchie fans. This was a nice crime caper from Guy. Fucking Hugh Grant basically plays the same character he does in The Gentleman. Only he's a big tycoon, evil tycoon business dude. Jason Statham plays Statham. It's cool to see Josh Hartnett back in acting. Like, I know he did Penny Dreadful, which is fun TV series. That's the word. Carrie Lewis. Is that his name? Carrie Elwes. Carrie Elwes. I feel like I've been saying his name all wrong. It's nice to see him back in like big pictures. He's in this. He was in the Mission Impossible Fallout for a little bit as well. But it's nice to see him getting some fucking bigger work out there. So that was an interesting film for I pick it up for a couple of bucks. Let's do this. So last week I did a Clint Eastwood marathon sort of thing. I watched 5 Clint Eastwood films. It was Bloodwork, Absolute Power, Any Which Way You Can, Any Which Way But Loose, and Honky Tonk Man. It was a good one, actually. Very underrated. And yesterday on the weekend, I find fucking this one, The Perfect World. Another Clint Eastwood film. And I'm like, I just did a fucking marathon of his work. But this is one I do want to see. Kevin Costner is a prison escapee, and he has that young kid as a hostage, and Clint is the cop tracking him down. Also has Laura Dern as a criminologist in here as well. So I was very intrigued by the story when I was like watching Clint stuff. I've never seen it. Never really heard about it, to be honest. He's done so many films. But yeah, it's just kind of annoying when I just like finish a marathon of one actor and then I find like a film of his and I'm like, if I had found this sooner, I would have added it to the marathon. So I'll watch this at some point. I shall. Good old Clint. He's a very he's a dad, man. He's the fucking filmmaker for dads. That's really what he is. You watch his films and like the action is like actiony, but it's very like dad action in a sense that it's not your fucking like Fast and the Furious Chuck Norris dad action. It's like older dad. It's like 60-year-old dad action films. Speaking of action films, I got these at Savers. I've had them before. I know I've had one of them before. Anyway, Chuck Norris, Invasion USA and Missing in Action. I remember seeing this years ago. I don't think I've seen that. I might have. If I watch it again, I'll probably go like, oh yeah, that's familiar. But yeah, I come across like Chuck Norris, MGM, Canon films every now and again. There's always that point, like, there's always that voice in my head. It's just collect them. Just get all the fucking Canon action films that you can find that were released like this and the MGM, like, little logos and stick. You know what I mean? Just collect them all. You find them around. They're everywhere. And I'm like, I should. I should. I mean, like, good old Cannon. Love Cannon. Two good films, I'm sure. I mean, anything done by Cannon is good. Both directed by Joseph Zito, who did a lot for Cannon. Did a lot for Cannon. I've read, the Cannon Guide? The Definitive Cannon Guide books, Volume 1 and 2. Fantastic books. I'm waiting for Volume 3 to be released. Be a good one. The great books go in depth with every film, like little production notes and history and like what happened, as much as the guy can. There's some films only have like a couple pages, and other films have like 5 pages worth of information thrown in. So the sound information thrown in for it. So I guess it's whatever the guy can find, but they're really good books. I recommend. Next up, we have Alice in Wonderland. This one I remember watching so much as a kid when it was on TV. It was on TV so much. It had great cast. There's Ben Kingsley, Christopher Lloyd as a backwards talking white knight, Martin Short as a Mad Hatter. There's Gene Wilder as a turtle. That guy from fucking Cheers as Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I can't remember the Queen. What was the Queen? What was her name? Robbie Coltrane's in this. Whoopi Goldberg is the Cheshire Cat. See all there. Miranda Richardson might be Miranda Richardson. Big cast, great cast. But yeah, this is one version of the film. It's probably like the main live action Alice in Wonderland I completely remember, so I had to get it for nostalgic reasons. Nostalgia all the way, fun times. Next up we have a classic from 1960 with Dean Martin and Shirley MacLaine, all in a night's work. Good old Shirley MacLaine, can't go wrong. Who is this mysterious woman seen running from a swank Palm Beach hotel, clad only in a bath towel? Is she the secret mistress of New York publishing baron, or is subsequently found deceased? Who is subsequently found deceased in bed? Oof. A frothy Zenny romp, directed by Joseph Anthony, who did The Rainmaker. Oof. Sounds like a fun comedy caper there, and Shirley MacLaine's great. She's wonderful, great comedic timing and great comedic work. She's like up there with Goldie Hawn in these sort of like 60 films. I think I'd place her next to Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn next to her, either or. Whatever you choose. Next up, we have another shock release. I love finding these shock releases. MGM shock releases. This is Hour of the Gun. Wyatt Earp, hero with a badge or cold-blooded killer? ? He lived through the gunfight at the OK Corral. That may have been a mistake. James Garner plays Wyatt Earp. Jason Robards as Doc Holliday, and Robert Ryan as Ike Clayton. Sample product not for sale. Well, there you go. So this, reading this, I was a bit somewhat confused. I think this is after the OK Corral gunfight, because was it with the Dusty Barrel settled at the OK Corral? The notorious Clayton brothers unleash their revenge. One by one, they gun down Wyatt Earp's brothers, but they won't have the last shot. Using his U.S. Marshal's badge as his authority and Doc Holliday as his deputized right man, Earp begins a zealous pursuit of vengeance that, the West will never forget. My God, excuse me. So I'm guessing it is like the aftermath of, the OK Corral gunfight. Directed and produced by John Sturges, who did many great films. Great Escape was one of his main ones, wasn't it? So, can't go wrong. Nice Western from 67. 60s Western. Next up we have a nice little Woody Allen film, The Curse of the Jade Scorpion. One film I've been wanting to see for a while. What's it about? I don't know. The top insurance investigator in 1940s New York, or so. Woody Allen is C.W. Briggs, or so he keeps telling the firm's new efficiency expert Betty Ann Fitzgerald, played by Helen Hunt. Oof. To be fair, he does always get his man, and usually more than a few women, since he isn't too discriminating in that area. It's film noir meets 40s screwball romance when Woody Allen's Bogart plays to Helen Hunt's Rosalind Russell, with Charlize Theron's Bacall thrown in for sexy good measure. In the critically acclaimed and classic Woody wit-laden comedy. Oh, yeah. I'm slowly getting through my Woody Allen collection. Slowly finding them at op shops, so I'm very happy when I do. Next up, we have an old school Umbrella release with a red case. You remember the red cases, the horror ones. We have Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. I have only seen the original and the remake. Remake was okay. It was just style over substance, really. I just place it in as like Candyman 4. Honestly, I wouldn't say it's like a what's that word? Fucking remake, reimagining. It's just fucking. It's part 4. Really, you should just say Candyman 4. Which is scarier than the original. I think this is the third one in the series. I can't even remember. From 95. Oh, whew. Tony Todd and Kelly Ronan. His myth has endured for generations. His legacy, eternal rage. Now he's back with a vengeance. Oh, the disc was a bit like... Oh no, the disc was fucking perfect. I think it was something else I was thinking of. Oh, beautiful. Not even touched. Nice little old school Umbrella there with a red case. Fantastic stuff. What's next? Yeah, Western, we have The Train Robbers. John Wayne, Anne Margaret, and Rod Taylor. The gold or the grave, the young widow could lead them to either. As I mentioned before, John Wayne's a 50-50 with me. There's some great films of his and some I just don't care for. So I never know what I'm going to get. I always read the blurb at the back. And so I'll read you the blurb. 3 Civil War veterans team up with a train robber's widow to recover a cool $500,000 in hidden gold. The widow, played by Anne Margaret, the kind who sticks out in all the right places, wants to clear her husband's name. The 3 friends, played by John Wayne, Rod Taylor, and Ben Johnson, want to aid her and collect a $50,000 reward. But the dead man's ex-partners just want the gold and will kill to get it. The Train Robbers is a rollicking caper from writer-director Burt Kennedy, a specialist in westerns with a comic touch from The Rounders and Support Your Local Sheriff. Here he sets a mood of abnormal adventure among colourful characters, not stinting on the two-fisted action that's part of all the best Wayne westerns. No, whatever. 1972, so this is older Wayne as well. At a cool 88 minutes, I was like, you know what? As long as 88 minutes you can deal with, just fucking done and dusted. When it becomes like 2 hours, I'm like, I don't know if I can do 2 hours of John Wayne. Unless it's like fucking Rio Bravo, The Searchers. That's a great film. Well, that's John Ford. Anyway, next up, we have another Western. And starring Pancho Villa as himself. I do remember this cover, but I never, remember anything about it. So apparently, reading the blurb, based on a true story of how Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa allowed a Hollywood crew to film him in battle, altering the course of film and military history in the process. The adventure gets its start when early movie giants D.W. Griffith, played by Colm Foray, and Harry Atkin, played by Jim Broadbent, sent junior executive Frank Thayer, played by Ian Bailey, to Mexico to persuade the cash-strapped, publicity-hungry Villa to let them film his revolution. Stepping into the literal crossfire, Flayer's crew risk their lives in the mingling of fiction and reality. After a string of dangerous exploits, narrow escapes, and double crosses, worthy of a silent action short, Thayer and Villa make their movie and the life of General Villa. Is released in the US to popular acclaim. The film changes the public opinion in Villa's favour and proves that the lens is mightier than the sword. So it's very intriguing since it's based on a true story and all that. I would want to see the actual film that was filmed. So, and DVD, this isn't much. There's just behind the scenes featurette, so no special features on this one. So I'll probably scamper onto YouTube. Took me a while to figure that out. YouTube and see if I can find it. Gives me like a Proposition sort of look. This is before the Proposition 2. 2004. Oh fuck. Proposition was 2005. Very interested out on. Really interested. Do I have another Western? I'll show you. Yes, I do. Aha! Western. Another shock entertainment one. We have Young Billy Young, Robert Mitchum, and Angie Dickinson. Billy better learn fast or die young. What do we have here? We have co-starring David Carradine as well. This is from 1969. After his son is murdered, an aging deputy, played by Robert Mitchum, puts on his badge and is joined by a young ex-gunfighter, played by Robert Walker Jr., to pursue the killer. Fate will lead to a deadly confrontation with another young gunfighter, played by David Carradine. So I'm guessing David's the bad man here. Look at that. Robert Mitchum, another Western, 1960s Western, 86 minutes. Beautiful. Little shock. I like these ones. I'm trying to call it. It'd be great to find them. There's a Gunslinger. I haven't got that. Glory Days. Oh, Rosebud. I just want to find these ones. It's something I do when I do. Find these shock MGM films. Oh, what's next? Well, since we're in Westerns, we'll go to the war section of life. Get off. Oh, stickers. No. War section of life. Next up we have The Lost Battalion. I feel like I had this film at one stage and I don't have it anymore. Which is, sad, I guess. Where is it? No, I don't have it. I do remember seeing this on TV late at night. It was back in years ago. Flicking through the channels on a Saturday night at 10:30, and I stumble upon this. And it's a really great. I remember it being wonderful. I remember it being really good about just a whole battalion that gets lost in the middle of a fight, and then they just get surrounded and shit. It's been a while since I've seen it, obviously, but I do recommend this as an underrated, underseen war film. And this is from 2001 as well. The Lost Battalion is a true story about American soldiers led by a civilian-turned-soldier, Major Charles Whittlesey, played by Rick Schroeder. It was a company of brave young men made up mostly of tough young Irish, Italian, Jewish, and Polish immigrants from New York City. They became trapped behind enemy lines towards the end of World War I, but fought against the odds, and many of the survivors were honoured as heroes upon their return. It's just a slick 88-minute film as well, so it gets into the nitty-gritty real quick and doesn't dilly-dally along. 88 minutes for a war film is pretty short as well too, especially for 2001. I know it was an older from the 50s or whatever, 60s, then yeah, it would be a bit short, but still, that one very old. What was it, World War II? Anyway, next up, another war film. This is Civil War, I think. I saw this at Savers. This is Andersonville, the great untold story of the Civil War. I just said, is this a Civil War? And then I fucking read that title. Yes, Ryan, it is. I looked at the front and I was like, oh yeah, that kind of looks interesting. I turn the back and I read the credits and it's directed by John Frankenheimer. Rest in peace. I was like, fucking yes, that's mine. I'll watch a John Frankenheimer bloody Civil War epic that's 167 minutes long. Blurbs. Hell has a new name. Of course it does. Captured Union soldiers arrive inside the barracksless POW encampment called Andersonville. The new arrivals, like the hapless souls before them, are quick to learn the ways of survival. Wring rainwater from clothes for drinking. Use brass uniform buttons as currency. Stay clear of the roving gang of Union thieves called the Raiders. And tell no one about the secret plan to tunnel to freedom. Master movie maker John Frankenheimer directs this epic tale about life inside the most notorious of the American Civil War's prison camps. Haunting scenes of conflict and inhumanity, the trial that brought the Raiders to justice. Frankenheimer includes them all with a skill that brought him a Best Director Emmy. He's got some features as well. One disc. This is really interesting. 1 disc DVD. It's amazing what they can fit in 1 disc DVD. 3 hour, 2.5 hour film. We got. It's just meant to be a fucking special features anyway. Soundtrack, yeah. 2 feature length audio commentaries. We got audio commentaries. There's a lot. Director of John Frankenheimer. The other featuring writer producer David W. Wintle, cinematographer, editor, production designer, costume designer, and historian and military choreographer. Additional scene, a visit from the ladies, interactive menus, enhanced features for your own DVD, ROM, PC, a soldier's journey, images from Andersonville, cast and creator profiles, historical background inside Andersonville. 2 audio commentaries, one with John and the rest with a whole bunch of people that worked on the film. Cinematographer, editor, production designer, costume designer, and historian military choreographer. So that will be interesting. It's great when DVDs have stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, I saw fucking John Frankenheimer, had to grab it. Next up, what do we have? Let's do this. This is in a war aspect world, isn't it? Clash of the Titans, the Ray Harryhausen film. No, actually his film, but you get what I mean. Ray Harryhausen film. This one I haven't seen. It wasn't in the I was gonna say imprint indicator box sets of Harry's films, so happy to find it by himself. It's 155 minutes long, big film. I mean, the back is just like all the shots of Harry's or Ray's special effects there. So I'm very intrigued. It's going to be a big, colossal amount of fun. We all know the story. Clash of the Titans, so good. What's next? Let's do you. We have an old school film here. This is called Across the Pacific, Humphrey Bogart. This seems like a noir-y gangster sort of film here. And it's directed by John Huston, so I was like, okay. John Huston, Humphrey Bogart, let's give it a go. Blurbs. Why are they... Anyway. Alberta Marlowe isn't looking for wealth. I can do without it, she says. You stick around with me and you're gonna get plenty of practice, Rick Leyland replies. She also gets danger and intrigue because Humphrey Bogart plays US counter-spy Rick in this crisply written wartime thriller. The part is a combination of acid and comedy, a bit like his role in The Maltese Falcon. Longtime studio insider Robert Lord said when he recommended Bogey for the role of Rick, he that's what he said when he recommended. Right. He trades romantic barbs with Alberta, played by Mary Astor, matches wits with Sly Lorenz, played by Sidney Greenstreet, and swans bullets with saboteurs of the Panama Canal. The Maltese Falcons' John Huston directs this reunion of three of that movie's stars. And once again, the parlay of stars and director comes up a winner. Lovely. From the Saturday Evening Post serial by Robert Carson. So that'll be interesting, little fucking serial. Warner at Night at the Movies special features. Nice little special features, these old school ones. Warner Night at the Movies 1942 short subjects gallery, vintage newsreel, patriotic Technicolor short Men of the Sky, classic cartoon The Draft Horse, trailers of Across the Pacific and 1942's Captains of the Clouds, new featurette Hollywood Helps the Cause, breakdowns of 1942 studio blooper reel. Wonderful. Fantastic. I say don't get DVDs, there's nothing. There's some special features there for you. Next up, let's do some drugs. Bright Lights, Big City. Michael J. Fox, Kiefer Sutherland, Phoebe Cates, Diane West. I've seen this cover around so much. I think, Umbrella released this as well, but I never got it. But I don't know. I guess when I find it in an op shop, I'm just like, yeah, alright, I'll give it a squiz. Michael J. Fox doing drugs again. I don't think he's done drugs since Class of 1989, to be honest. Let's peel a sticker off at the back here, sorry. I need that sticker residue fucking shit. But yeah, hasn't taken drugs since that film, and if you remember that film, he was fed, what was it, LSD, and he climbs up the school flagpole, and he's like, woohoo! And then he falls off it and breaks his leg. Hilarious stuff. I think it was his first film role, to be honest. Anyway, Michael J. Fox. What is this? Blah blah blah. Wiley, co-starring Cliff, featuring soundtrack from New Order, Depeche Mode, and Prince. Chronicle of Wasted Days and Craze and Haze and... Alright, here we go. Jamie Conway, played by Fox, is an aspiring writer who trades the wheat of fields of Kansas for the imposing skyline of Manhattan and the seductive party culture hidden within. When Jamie hits the club scene to enliven his nights and deaden his pain, he takes it to the limit, until the limit threatens to take away everything and everyone he's ever loved. Drugs. Very intrigued how this one plays out. I did enjoy The Boost, which is a great film with James Woods. Great drug film. Excusez-moi. Great drug film with James Woods. Next up, we have Pedro Almodovar, The Flower of My Secret. Ex-rental, but whatever. I always enjoy Pedro's films. Great filmmaker. Always happy to find his films in the wild and these releases too. What is it? The Hopscotch releases. And it's very like cloudy with... I hope it works. It's very cloudy. My God. Mix Flicks. I'm just going to call him up. Truly original, the Oscar-winning Spanish filmmaker Pedro Almodovar is celebrated for his characteristically flamboyant and eccentric cinematic style. Leo is a best-selling romance novelist but has been writing under a pseudonym for years. Tired of producing popular fiction when her heart yearns to write truly great literature. Leo has reached a creative and emotional crisis, her very success now a burden to her. Unable to accept that her marriage to Paco is rapidly disintegrating, Leo finds herself at a crossroads. Even Leo's mother and sister can offer no consolation, as they constantly bicker with one another. The one ray of hope in Leo's life comes from Angel, the editor of the newspaper El País, who offers her a job as a critic for a national arts supplement. Leo's first assignment brings her face to face with her alter ego, causing an examination of her true identity, her deepest motivations, and most importantly, the direction of her life after Paco. Pedro makes some great films. There's some great films with like women as well, like women roles. People say like women, some women say women don't get good roles. I'm just fucking learn Spanish. Talk to Pedro. Fuck. Next up, Walt Disney film, live action one. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. Bonus offer, 1,000 loyalty points. Ooh. Unfortunately, the offer expires on the 31st of the 8th, 2006. Shit. But, inside, what is all... Aha! That's great. So, here we go. Collect your points to be rewarded. Now, this... I like this because it gives me sort of like a list of films that I don't have and want. And it's all those like live action-y, I guess they're not, yeah, live action films from Disney released in the 60s that I love. They're directed by Robert Stevenson. It's always fucking Robert, isn't it? It's always Robert. So that will give me a nice indication of what to look for or what to find. What is this one? Darby O'Gill. Where's Darby? Darby, 4,000 points. Collect 4,000 points for one of these titles. Collect 5,000 points for one of these titles. And collect 6,000 points for one of these titles. Ooh. They're Aladdin films. Oh, that's all the classic stuff. Anyway. I do love these ones. I enjoy them. Enjoy Robert Stevenson. What is this? There's Little People. Irish. Take a wee bit of ancient folklore, mix in some spectacular special effects and a magical cast, including Sean Connery. I figured that was Sean Connery there. I wasn't really sure. There you go, Sean Connery. Yeah, I don't know who it is. And you've got one of the most enchanting fantasies of all time. What? A frisky old storyteller named Darby O'Gill is desperately seeking the proverbial pot of gold. There's just one tiny thing standing in his way, a 21-inch leprechaun named King Brian. 21-inch. Huh. In order to get the gold, Darby must match his wits against the shrewd little trickster, which... Yeah, okay. Which proves no small task. Indeed, fall under the spell of Darby Gill and the Little People for a fun-filled evening of magic, mirth, and non-stop shenanigans. Fantastic. Next up, last up of the DVDs. Big one. We've got the Director's Suite Madman. We have Michael Winterbottom's Tristram Shandy, a cock and bull story. I was like, oh yeah, that looks interesting. I always have a squeeze of these director suites. There's always some good stuff there. Michael Winterbottom, I don't know a lot of his stuff. Wonderland, yeah, I know Wonderland. 24 Hour People, I do know that. Code 46, I sort of know that. 9 songs. Was that the fucking porno film? I think it was. Anyway. This, I grabbed it because it stars our two good friends, Steve Coogan and Rob Bryan in here. And I'm like, you know what? Comedic duo right there. So I thought I'd give it a squiz. Nice English comedy there. 90 minutes. Beautiful. Nice little director suite. Get rid of... I'll change this cover. Get rid of that fucking... What is that? A sanity sticker or something? Sale price. $14.95. There you go. Oof. What's next? Okay. Okie dokie, here we go. Let's do these two itty bitties. Indicator. Indicator, 2 films. There was 3 films in the monthly bundle, and for some reason I only got 2. I must have just like skipped one and fucked up the orders, but I ordered it later on down the track. But we got 2 more Jean Rollin. Oof. It is, what's this? The Rape of the Vampire and The Night of the Hunted. There you go, and they are nice little slim hard cases. So let's do Rape of the Vampire, which is number 400. 1968. Here we go. It comes with that little thing there at the back. There at the back, number 53. Beautiful. In you go. We have our... That's a great... I like that artwork. I do remember this image being teased. A little bit of it being teased anyway, months ago. And people thought we were going to get a Gene Brolin box set. I think that was the original plan, but I think they just went to the side of it and they're going to do single releases of this stuff, which is going to be mental. There's like fucking, I think there's 26 or something. What's that? What is that? Oh, they've done 4. I mean, I've got 4 at the moment. But they've done like 6 of his already. And the guy's got like 20 something films. So that's going to be fun. The Demonic Loves of the Queen of the Vampires. Oof. So we got that bad boy, and we have a nice little booklet there. 80 pages. 80 pages if you include the back. Nice little 80 pages. That's a lot. Lots of information for one film as well too. It's normally just these single releases. Like you get like a 40-page booklet in like these ones cases, but no, these ones they're giving you the full shebang, full 80 pages. I think you normally get like 100 pages in those big box sets. I don't remember how you get in these ones. Yeah, probably 102 or something. 120. I guess it just depends on the information of the person. Yes, next one, number 411. That was number 400. I think they're starting on 400 and working their way up. Night of the Hunted. Naked Lady Running. Limited to 4,000, so there's plenty out there. I've got number 53. Let's do number... That fucking image looks sick. The scissors stabbed in both eyes. Love that. Destined to Die. And it's a great image too. I love that image. Not because there's a naked woman on it. But it just gives off like that pulp vinyl novel sort of book kind of cover. Something you'd find on like a Richard Lemond book or something. Oh, Richard Lemond. God damn. It's been a while. There's Jean Rollin. Who's that? Who are you? I don't know. You're Brigitte Lahagne. I'm going to call you Brigitte Lahagne. Oh, straight jacket. Plenty of... Ooh, who's that? Plenty of fun reading stuff in there. Oh, and that's the... Look at that. Right on the end. Beautiful. Another 2 indicator releases that I have. Oof. Oh, you can go right on the shelf since you're there. Oof. Okay, last up, people. Last up. This was a nice little find. CD set. Ken Burns Jazz, the story of America's music. I looked and I was like, oh yeah, it's interesting. It was like, how much was this? $8 or something. 5 discs of a whole bunch of jazz. I was like 50-50 on grabbing it, but then like my conscience got the better of me, and I was like, just grab it, Ryan, just grab it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I posted it on a page, and people are saying, fucking good find. And I'm like, okay. Maybe there's more to this than meets the eye. It comes with a massive booklet. It's fucking stuck in there, that's for sure. What else is in there? Nothing. Just big booklet, small pocket. Ken Burns jazz. Do like my jazz. And here. Ooh. That one quick. So that's every song there on the thing, and then a little information of said song, artist, performer, what have you. So that's be a nice little read when I'm... Oh, here we go. Oh, some words. Where's the words? Okay. So there's a whole little spiel. That went through. A whole little spiel on jazz and players and what have you. Herbie Hancock, fantastic. Where is it? 40-page booklet there. Be a rundown of jazz, American jazz. Get in the hole. Ooh, beautiful. Nice to give that a listen. I have a 6-stacker in my car, so there you go. 5 CDs. 5 CDs. I'll have room for one more. I have to stick some like death metal in there just to change it up a bit. So I'm happy with that little find. Or big find. Big book. I think that's it. For anyone in Melbourne, I'll be here. I'll be selling some stuff. The Astor Film Bazaar, presented by Dead End DVD. Great guy, Joel. Market Day, 1st of October. Very soon. Less than a month. Whew! Goddamn, I gotta get my stuff sorted. And plus a film screening of Tammy and the T-Rex. So I'll be there. I'll be selling some stuff. I'll be buying some stuff, of course. That's for sure. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining. So much. Lots of stuff to watch. To my ever-growing watch pile. Crazy. But what do you do? It's all fun. All for the love of it, really. Keep buying. Keep finding, because in Australia we got fuck all. We've only got JB, really, that has stuff, and each store is slowly phasing out their DVDs. Cinemaniacs sell imports. You've got Joel that does the imports. Of course, you got eBay. You've got the retailers' websites. Some of them as well, like straight from the source. But I spend so much on these movies. Some of them are just like, we'll give it a go. But, you know, in the back of my mind, it's fucking... It won't end, but it's just going to feel like it will end. You know, there's just going to be less shops out there. Less places. So Op Shops is a really good place to pick up movies. As you can see, like I've found some fantastic... I think I've found some great stuff out there. Even films that you've probably forgotten about. Oh, not like you per se, but people have forgotten about. Like, you know what? This is why I grab these Disney ones, because Disney aren't going to fucking release these anymore. Or I don't think they were ever going to release these at all. So that's why I love finding these and grabbing them. And I'm actually reconsidering picking back up my animated Disney collection, because it's just... Me and my, most of this has Disney Plus. See, you wouldn't really find that. Does this have a Blu-ray? I don't fucking know. Stuff like that. Stuff that gets lost in the DVD realm. But yeah, because Disney have stopped making DVDs and Blu-rays and all that. Budget cutting, so they're cutting that out. So I'm actually tempted to fucking do the animated ones again, because... Disney. And plus, you know what? These will be uncut as well, and there's not going to be any fucking stupid trigger warning at the start and all that bullshit. It's like, your feelings might get hurt. You're about to watch Dumbo. If you have big ears, your feelings might get hurt. So it's just the movie. Fuck. Calm down. Anyway, enough of that rant. Thank you for watching. Give us a comment, subscribe, like, love it and leave it. I'll see you next time. Hopefully I see you at this little shenanigans. I'll be there. I don't know where I am. I'll have like 2 tables worth of stuff, I think. I know I will. I booked 2 tables anyway, so there's going to be a fair few like movies spread out. But yeah, that's it. Wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy. Happy hunting.